Everybody, look at it. It's about 65 degrees out here today. And today is Christmas. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. I got my scarf in my bag. So listen, I want to make a video about I don't know, man. It's just like religion and shit. I always talk about religion in the hood. Like the thing about religion, like I tell people, religion is a parallel subject, meaning it's a horizontal subject, meaning that it's like this. It doesn't go anywhere. It's not a parallel. It's not a vertical subject. It doesn't go anywhere. It just stays there, and that's why most bad neighborhoods have a lot of churches, like I always tell people. And the main thing that fucks black people up now today is black pastors that know better. 99, I really believe in my heart that 99.9% of these black pastors and ministers know what they're doing. They know they fucking the people over. They know it, and they living comfortable. And like back in the days, like on the plantation, the master didn't care about black people preaching because, they were reading the Bible from his interpretation. And that's another thing about the Bible, and that's why it's called the King James Version. It's called the King James Version, the authorized King James Version, because slavery was such a big business that the Bible was reauthorized. It was rewritten to correlate with slavery. It was rewritten to endorse, promote, and condone, and not condemn slavery. It was, that's what the Bible was rewritten. You got to understand that slavery was a billion-dollar industry. Billion-dollar industry. People got a lot of money off of slavery. That's what slavery was all about. It was an economical issue, and then it later went from an economical issue into to the Darwin theory. And then they used Darwin's theory to justify slavery. And after they used the Darwin theory, then it went to an evangelical. And that's what you have now. It's all about evangelical. It's all about an evangelical issue. So you get me what I'm saying? You follow me now? Slavery went from an economical issue, then it turned into a Darwin theory, and now it's an evangelical issue. And they use religion to validate slavery. And people just don't get it. And that's why the Bible was rewritten. And that's why it's called the authorized King James Version. In fact, every so many years, scholars convene in a secret location, and they convene to change verses in the Bible. Google it. Google it. They put the word, they took, I forgot what they did. They put a couple of words in there and took a couple of words out of the Bible. And they do this to suit the modern times. But people just don't get it, man. And the thing is, like, women are the easiest. That's why churches are filled with so many fucking single women, because they think the world is going to be perfect. And the world is not going to be perfect. Nothing in the world was created equal. Nothing. And the world is not going to be perfect, but the people want the world to be perfect. So these people come along with these religious theories telling you that one day the world is going to be perfect. And it's not. The world will never be perfect. It's bullshit. Nothing in the world was created perfect. Equal. Look at this tree right here. None of these branches on this tree are alike. None of them. No snowflake is alike. Nothing in the universe was created equal. And people got this misconception that things are going to be perfect one day once they go to heaven. But that's bullshit. Like you see on these Jehovah's Witness flyers, they'll have a lion sitting with a lamb. I know this is symbolic. But if the lion sits with the lamb, what is the lion going to eat? Why does the lion need teeth if he's going to become a vegetarian? That means if the lion is going to graze and the sheep are going to graze, then they're going to be competing for the grass and shit. And then they gonna eat themselves into starvation. They're gonna eat the shit up, and then the shit ain't gonna be able to grow no more, and then they can't live. So it doesn't make sense. Nothing in the universe was created equal. Nothing. No man was created equal. We should be treated equal, but we were not created equal. But back to what I was saying is that women are the ones that grab hold of religion more, because they base shit on how it makes them feel. And a woman's idea of a good relationship is a relationship that goes her way. That's her idea of a good relationship. fucking women, boy. But back to what I'm saying is like they're more inclined to grab hold of religion because they grab hold of religion from a emotional aspect. And most men that grew up in the house with their mother, they're the same way. They think more emotionally rather than realistically or logically. Like women just think dumb shit. Like, why is God invisible? What sense do that fucking make? And if he's invisible, why does he have eyes? And if he's a he, where's his male organs? And if you don't have male organs, why don't you call it a it instead of a he? But people just don't get this shit, man. And then, like I tell people, like if religion is more powerful than doctors, then how come the hospitals are not filled with pastors, ministers, and priests instead of doctors? Why don't you get rid of all the fucking doctors and start putting ministers in there and let the minister operate on you? I mean, it's just little shit that makes it, I just don't fucking get it, man. And the main reason I make these videos, people call me bitter. I say I'm not bitter. I'm just speaking honestly. And whenever you speak honestly, people call you bitter. But I'm not bitter. But my main reason for talking like this is so black people wake the fuck up. Black people still acting like fucking coons in the year 2014, going into the year 2015. When are we gonna fucking wake up? But the main reason black people do the shit they do is because they're scared. Most black people are not as bad as they pretend to be. Like I always say, each housing project has his own aura. Like you could be bad in this housing project, but when you go to the next housing project, that don't mean shit to nobody. But we so bent on like wanting to be the baddest guy on the block and all that other shit. That shit don't mean nothing. I bet you Mike Brown, the guy that got killed out there in Missouri, I think it was. I bet you he was the baddest guy on his block, and look what happened to him. That bad, tough attitude don't mean shit. That shit only means something in black neighborhoods. Once you leave a black neighborhood, you see what happens. Wake up, black people.